What's going on, everybody? Static here. Welcome back to another episode of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I'm excited to get back into it. I've had a very long week this week, but it's over. It's Friday. I finally have a couple of days to rest, and hopefully next week won't be as wild and busy. I just started college this week, but on top of that, I also had several other things that I had to do that I normally wouldn't have to do on a regular routine. So overall, this week had been really busy. I'm tired. My feet hurt. I am sweating like an MFFR. I just want to sit down and start gamer grinding again, as it were. But anyway, last episode we farmed out Gormagala and got this really cool weapon, and then we fought Seregios and almost immediately decided that we may or may not keep this weapon. And as I was editing last episode, thought about it some more, I think we will actually make this weapon. The Conga Edge. Because, I mean, for one, it has blue sharpness and more green sharpness than we have. So according to sharpness, this thing is nuts, like really fucking good for where we are. But it also starts off with 10 more damage. We lose 5 affinity, but that's fine. 10 more damage. And once we level it up, we get another 10 damage and even more sharpness. And from what I can tell, like, we're getting into the range now where upgrading this once will require high rank shit, which means that once we upgrade it, it'll be a high rank weapon, it'll be on level with high rank stuff, which is exactly why the 150 damage iron katana, it also requires high rank stuff, because 150 damage is now beginner high rank level. So with that being said, we need monster keenbone and then low rank Seregios pieces to upgrade this, so we can upgrade this to that high rank level pretty early on in high rank, which will give us a weapon that does the same amount of damage as the iron katana, but has 10 affinity and way better sharpness. So I think overall, this thing is the move. Because if we were to keep this weapon, the Gormagala weapon, and try to upgrade it, we would need high rank Gormagala pieces, which is not anytime soon, because again, this guy is a high medium monster, so we won't unlock him until a few stars into high rank. On the contrary, I believe Seregios we can unlock his upgrade pretty early, because we only need Monster Keenbone, and I'm pretty sure Monster Keenbone is accessible in either the first high rank star or the second. Pretty sure. I hope so anyway. So I think overall, getting this weapon and upgrading it is a gigantic leg up for us in high rank, so I think working towards this weapon is probably the best play. Getting the air blade shards and the blade scales would be super easy. The only problem is the wing talons, so we just gotta make sure we're breaking his wing, which I will be honest is probably better or easier said than done, rather. But we'll try our best. We'll fight him a couple of times, and if we end up having like extreme trouble getting those talons, we'll just give up and move on. We won't fuck with it that hard, but we will definitely give it our best shot, because this weapon has the potential to be super useful to us as a high rank asset, so we will try our best. And I'd also like to follow up on what I talked about last episode. I mentioned that Monster Keenbone could be gotten from a monster, and I showed surprise that there was a low rank version of that monster. Turns out there is no low rank version. What it turns out to be, because I was scrolling the internet trying to find an answer, is that there is no low rank version, but even so, like, that monster is still listed as having low rank drops, just because, I guess, technically he does have low rank drops, you just can't access them because there is no low rank version of the monster. Not really sure how that works or why it's like that, but apparently it's like that for a fair bit of monsters, a lot of deviants as well. So, unfortunately, Monster Keenbone is absolutely not accessible in low rank. Which means we will not be getting that upgrade in any way until we hit high rank. Which is fine, because again, 150 damage seems to be a high rank level damage, so getting it before would, I guess, like, kind of be nuts. It makes sense why we'd have to wait. And if we end up making the Seregios weapon, which I'm hoping we will, I will talk to you about the Seregios' like his weapon's special ability that I kept alluding to last episode, but I forgot to explain. Because Seregio's weapons do have a very special power to them that is actually not at all explained in the game. You just have to figure it out on your own, which I think is super cool. I like things like that. I like knowing extra information about the game that isn't told to you in any form, because then that just helps you, like, it makes the game seem deeper, in my opinion. It makes it seem deeper, and it rewards you for knowing things and figuring things out. With that being said, I'm going to farm him a little bit. You already saw this fight before, and you're seeing the intro to it right now while I'm talking, so I don't know how much of it I'll keep in. I do, again, like last episode, I don't want to spend the whole time farming. I want to actually progress. So I will probably cut a lot of it out so that we have time to progress and fight new guys. But we will see. We will see when we get there. His clawing is kind of screwing me right now, but overall I'm not doing too bad. For a warm-up match, this is pretty solid. I'm trying to target his wings, but I'm only receiving mediocre luck from time to time. Okay, I didn't think that would hit me. That was a big mistake on my part. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep up the good fight. And I'll keep in anything cool that happens. You know the drill. If anything that isn't cool happens, or rather if anything cool doesn't happen, should say, then you won't hear about it. So I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hopefully we can actually get something out of this. Alright, grind over. I think we had to fight him 4 times or something like that. I believe it was 4 to get what we needed to make this. But we have it, grind over. And now that it's over, I can say with confidence that sucked real bad. That grind wasn't fun. I don't know what happened between last night and now, but the fight we had last night and how good that was, yeah, that doesn't reflect what happened today. Today, I don't know how much I'll be showing, because nothing really cool happened. But this grind session was the first of probably many gamer rage meltdowns that I'll have playing this game. So I assume I'm about to be putting in a montage of that, quick little montage of that in editing. So yeah, here's that. What is this shit? Why are you doing this? I can fight you, like, for the first time in a long ass time and not have to use any of my own healing. But this fight, I have to, like, use everything that I fucking have, because you just won't stop hitting me with non-existent shit that nobody on God's green earth would count except for you. Fuck off. Like fucking hell, dude. You can't just make shit fucking up all the time. And what just stunned me, dude? Are you fucking kidding? You mean that attack that I parried, but the game didn't register because it didn't hit me anyway? That's what stunned me? Oh! Now that you mention it, that does make sense! Fuck off! What a piece of shit! This sharpness is really fucking cheesing my cream for real. All the fucking time in this series. I forgot how absolutely agonizing it is to play at the start of the game. I barely have any green sharpness, so I drop down to yellow super easily. And then when I'm in yellow, everything hard deflects me. And whenever I get hard deflected, that's when the game hard targets me, so that I get hit every fucking time. He's ignoring Hugo and has been for the last, like, 30 real-life seconds, so that I can't sharpen. Unfucking believable with this shit. Nice. Nice. I love it, dude. I love parrying and achieving fucking nothing because you just kept your hand up. Why are you instant leaving? We just got here. Not even 20 seconds ago. Not even 20 seconds ago. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is he doing this? Last night we fought him. Perfectly fine. Good fight. Had fun. Now, every single time I fight him, apparently, this dude is just out of his fucking mind. Coming up with the dumbest shit he can possibly fucking muster to justify giving me the worst imaginable gaming experience. Fuck you, dude. Holy shit. I love that your eating animation also puts you just barely in my reach. If you were any larger of a monster, I'd be fucked. I wouldn't be able to hit where I'd like to aim. Fuck off. What a piece of shit. Yeah, please keep spamming that one fucking move, dude. I love it when you do that. Don't do anything else, man. That's the one. That is the one. You've struck gold. Why bother even looking for anything else? Oh, fuck my parry, I guess. Parrying is for bitches. I'll be damned if I parry ever again. Unfucking real. Yeah, and of course, this is the one time that he's actually just standing still. Is when I get bled, because my parry just didn't fucking feel like it. Didn't feel like it. Fuck it. That was never a mechanic. I imagined that I'd be able to parry with this weapon.
Everything I do misses! Why? I've landed like 4 hits out of 30! Every single thing! Holy shit! This isn't real! This is not real! Dude, there's no fucking way that I'm missing every single hit I'm attempting! Not even like 3 are landing! No fucking shot! You are lying to me! What the fuck is up with this fight? Okay, holy shit, dude. No fucking shot, dude. This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. No excuse for this shit at all. Because he keeps fighting specifically at the top of the dunes, so that under any normal circumstance, and most special ones, I can't land anything. Not a fucking thing. I have to fight inside of him to land this shit, because he's exclusively fighting at the peak of the dunes. What a prick. Fuck this guy. No, that's fine, man. When I pressed the parry button, I actually meant to just stand there and do fucking nothing. That was my intention. I wanted to get hit for no reason. I'm glad you did that. Steal more of my basic fucking game mechanics, please. In fact, I don't even want to walk anymore. Why should I? Can you please stop walking fucking over me and doing nothing so that I can't hit you and you aren't even attacking me? No fucking way. Yep, of course that attack missed. Why? Because he was just standing on a ledge for no damn reason. What in the fuck is wrong with you? Stop hard camping ledges. The entire fight, no matter what zone you're in, you're gonna find a slight ledge to just only stand on and never leave, so that I can't ever hit you, not even once. Yeah, that was pretty damn painful. I hated that. But we got what we needed. Hated that shit. Seregios is a great monster, so I'm not gonna hold that against him as a monster. What the fuck? Shit just fell off my desk. My bad.
But I will hold that against the game and it just deciding, you know what, man? Who cares? Who cares about consistency? Who cares about fairness? Let's just pull out the random number generator and have this Regios do the absolute worst and cringiest shit he could possibly muster for no damn reason. That was really fun. But we're done. We got it. Let's get the weapon. Very cool. And if we check out the upgrade, we already have the Sundoor, so all we're missing is the Monster Keen Bone, which is a high rank drop. So we can see there 10 more damage, a little bit more blue, about the same green. The blue is really what's important. So there we go. This weapon is pretty damn solid. It's already a just direct upgrade to what we have. We get 10 more damage, we get a little bit of blue, whereas the Gormagala weapon didn't have any at all, and we get even more green, so the green lasts longer. The only trade-off is that we lose the Dragon element and 5% affinity. However, Dragon element I don't really give a fuck about whatsoever, especially if it's at a value of 8. And the 5% affinity is almost it's not really anything. We're not really going to notice a difference. So all in all, this is kind of just a direct upgrade. Plus, it comes with the Seregios weapon special ability that I keep alluding to. And this is unique entirely to Seregios and his weapons. They don't mention it in the game, so you just have to observe this yourself or look it up. And that is that if you're using a Seregios weapon, there's a chance, if you have the weapon unsheathed and in your hand, that when you roll, it'll actually auto-sharpen the weapon for you. The reason for that is because Seregios' whole gimmick is that he's an incredibly, incredibly sharp monster. That's why the sharpness on this weapon is so good, and that's why he has that special ability. So you might notice that we'll be getting a little bit of sharpness back as we roll every now and again, and there should be a visual and audio cue showing that happening. That's because we're using Seregios' weapon. So when you add that into the mix, this weapon is just all around a lot better than the Gormagala weapon we had, so I'm glad we have it. And we should be able to upgrade it pretty soon after we enter high rank. I'm hoping immediately, but I'm not sure. I don't know when Monster Key and Bone gets unlocked. But anyway, let's advance. I don't know how much time we have because I'm at 52 minutes almost of recording, but there's no way this video is going to be this long. So I am going to assume that we're doing okay. And I'm going to fit in Tigrex and Brachydios in this episode. I don't know. This might be a really long episode, but I also don't want it to be only Seregios. So let's just go ahead and do it. First and foremost, let's take on Tigrex. Tigrex is somebody I talked about last episode. I talked about how he walled me for a long period of time, and I struggled with him on G rank pretty greatly. Fighting the G rank Tigrex was when I was like, yeah, okay, I am not good enough at this game to do this. I gotta improve and I gotta get better. And I really trained hard to get better at the game. I went back and fought a bunch of earlier monsters and watched a lot of videos, did a lot of research, and practiced new moves to really try and have my training arc in the mountains to get better and fight G-rank Tigrex and finally be able to kill him solo, which I did. That is this monster. This is low rank, obviously, so it's not going to be nearly that hard, and I've already had that practice, so I don't think we'll be losing this fight. But it's still the same monster, so if you imagine this guy, but he's got a couple of new moves, and he's way stronger, then that is kind of what you'd be imagining the G-rank one to be like. I don't exactly know where he spawns, but I'm going to guess it's probably up here in 4, maybe. I'm going to check 3 just in case since we're going this way. Tigrex is a pretty damn cool monster. Apparently, the devs say that his name is meant to be pronounced Tigrex, but that's so fucking dumb. His name is not Tigrex, it's Tigrex. He is a tiger T-Rex. That is what he is. He's got the head of a T-Rex, but like the pattern of a tiger. He is a tiger T-Rex. That is why his name is Tigrex. Why the fuck would it be pronounced Tigrex? That is fucking stupid. This monster is super cool. He doesn't fly, obviously. Well, I mean, he has the ability to fly, but he doesn't really have any flying attacks. He's more of a ground-based monster. So we should be hitting him more often than Seregios. But that doesn't mean we'll have any easier of a time, because Tigrex is definitely very tough. He's known for his incredible aggressiveness. Wow, that blue didn't last long. He's known for his incredible aggressiveness and how ferocious he is. And you'll see that, okay, fuck me. Because we were standing by his hind leg. That attack hit us earlier than it should have. You'll see that as we go on, especially when he gets enraged here in a minute. Yep, here it is. He definitely earns his reputation. He's another monster that has a really cool visual cue when he gets enraged. His veins start glowing red. He gets a big speed boost when he's enraged, and he puts it to good use, as you'll see here in a minute. Yep, I knew I should have parried that. I could have parried that, but it would have been risky because of how I had to orient myself for that, so I just decided not to go for it. He's most known for that charge that you just saw him do. I mean, it's not that, but it looks similar, where he'll charge back and forth like that. It's similar to the lawnmower, but a lot less stupid and a lot more aggressive. The lawnmower being the Rathian attack that everyone hates Rathian for. Critical juncture. Again, not a stagger on that critical juncture. That's pretty weird, because I'm used to critical juncture 3, which must be way stronger. Whenever I use Critical Juncture 3, about 80% of the time it results in a stagger or a break, or both. So the fact that almost none of these Critical Juncture lands have caused a stagger is pretty strange to me. I know we're doing huge damage, but I couldn't imagine the difference between Critical Juncture 2 and 3 is that huge. Oh, he's not enraged anymore? That was pretty fast. Again, like, this is the guy that I trained for quite a while specifically to learn how to fight and to beat in G rank. So we are kind of handling this guy pretty well because I've done a lot of practicing. And I've gotten better at the game in general and on Tigrex since those days where I barely managed to beat him in G rank. Overall, this fight shouldn't be too bad, and it hasn't been too bad so far. Unfortunately, I just barely didn't have enough spirit to land a free heavy hit on his head, which really sucks. We'll land one right there to make up for it. You couldn't see it, but trust me, I landed it. And I messed that up. Tigrex is actually really unique in the sense that, I don't know how it's determined because not all of his roars do this, but he actually has a roar. He's the only monster I can think of that does this off the top of my head. He has a roar that if you get hit by it, doesn't stun you, but actually knocks you back and damages you. Grimclaw Tigrex does this as well, but that doesn't really count because it's still just a Tigrex. It's just a Deviant Tigrex. I can't think of any other monster whose roar you actually have to worry about as an attack, which is super cool. So if you mess up the parry or if you don't try to avoid it, it's not that you're getting stunned, it's that you're getting your health net. Because that roar, at least for Grimclaw Tigrex, does way more damage than it has any right to. Absolutely fucking... Yep, there we go. Example. You see how much damage that did as a roar? He didn't even like hit me at all? Oh. I know there was a lot going on right there, but if you heard that like very sharp ding sound and that flash of light on my body as I rolled out of the way of his attack, that was the Seregios weapon special ability kicking in. We just got a little bit of our sharpness back for absolute free without having to lift a finger to do anything about it. It doesn't give as much as like a full-on whetstone would, but it does give a little bit more so that we can get a few extra hits in green before we drop down to yellow. Which over time stacks up. Helps you save time, keeps you in a higher sharpness so you don't get screwed. Okay. Alright, I was thinking he'd turn around, so I wasn't trying to aim for his weak spot. I was just going to hit his wing a few times because I thought he'd turn around and try to fight me, but then he just didn't, so I should have moved on his head in that case. Son of a bitch! I hate that attack because the timing is so cringe. I parried, like, on time, but that attack hit me before his tail physically reached me. Because the attack started, and the game registered as me being inside of the hitbox, even though physically, his tail hadn't hit me yet. So I parried the tail, but the attack had already hit me, so the parry didn't work. I hate that. I've gotten hit by that twice this fight for the exact same reason. That fight, or that move in particular, worries me the most out of his entire moveset, because parrying it is super hard. You can have the parry realistically correct, but if the game thinks you're in the hitbox already before the attack reaches you, then too bad. You get hit and the game registers you as not having parried in time. Which is exactly what just happened. Super dumb. I hate it when it does that. I've gotten used to it, and I've gotten a lot better at parrying that attack because I know it's going to do that, but there's still times that I mess it up. Overall, though, really good fight. You got to see Tigrex. He's a super cool monster, and as he gets harder in high rank and G rank, more of his strengths come out because he hits a lot harder. So when he hits you with that vicious ferocity that he has and combines it with G rank damage, it's super nerve-wracking to fight him, and you feel like, justifiably, that you're about to get completely destroyed in any moment. You gotta be on your toes the entire fight. Really cool monster. I like Tigrex a lot. I enjoy fighting him, and I enjoyed sharing him with you guys. And now we're about to move on to another monster. I saved him for last out of this episode, because I like saving things I like saving the best for last in everything that I do. With that in mind, you might keep in mind that we're specifically avoiding Jinogre. Yeah, I'm following that rule here too. We won't be fighting him this episode. Save the best for last, I always say. But we will fight Brachydios, because between him, Seregios, and Tigrex, I like Brachydios the best. And the reason I like him the best is not only because he's a super cool monster, not only because his fight is great, but because I have history with this guy. Me and Brachydios, we go way back. We go way back, all the way into the days of 3. That's right. Brachydios is another comrade, another old enemy from my 3 days. Back when Blast Blight was just known as Slime. And the reason it was known as Slime is because of this guy. He introduced Blast to the franchise. And you'll see exactly what I mean when I say this guy introduced Blast as Slime to the franchise. That's his whole gimmick. I love Brachydios. I remember he was my first very big wall and arch nemesis on Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I got walled on Royal Ludroth when I played Try on the Wii when I was like 8 years old. But when I was 12 and I played 3 Ultimate, and I spent a long ass time going through the game from that point onward, blowing past Royal Ludroth and wondering how I ever thought he was hard, and getting further into the game, in that stage of my Monster Hunter journey, Brachydios was my very first wall, and it lasted a while. He got me for quite some time. I felt unholy good when I finally managed to bring that dude down and fucking kill him. I will never forget that moment. It was such a remarkable moment that when I finished doing it, I was meeting up with like a friend of mine to hang out at that same day, and he came over to my house right as I finished killing Brachydios for the first time, and he still every once in a while brings up how he remembers like seeing me come out of my house absolutely like ecstatic, out of my mind, like, bro, you will not believe what I just did. It was like such a memorable moment that he wasn't even there for it, and he also remembers it. Since then, I've killed Brachydios a lot. I've gotten a lot more used to him. He's no longer the struggle for me that he was back in those early days of my fighting career, back before I had ever even tried Longsword. But he still holds a special place in my heart as that very first wall for me that made me really want to improve. Made me really want to kill this guy. And he also has a very unique blight to him that no other monster that we fought in this game so far has. And in this game, it's known as Blast Blight. You heard me talk about it a second ago. Blast is exactly how it sounds. It's an explosion. You'll see those bomb icons on the left next to mine and my Palico's names every once in a while. That's an indicator that we're affected by Blast Blight. What that does is you'll see like a red cloud around us slowly change color and get darker as time goes on. If we don't do anything about that in time, eventually that cloud will stop being a cloud and it'll just fucking blow up and do half of our health. So we really gotta get rid of it. And you get rid of it simply by rolling 3 times, like that. Just like you were getting rid of Fire Blight. So it's pretty easy to avoid if you get affected by it, it's not that bad. But it's still really cool. And if you let it get to you, because I do have some friends who play this game, and they just don't even notice when they're Blast Blighted a lot of the time. I've never had that problem, but they do, for some reason. If you let that happen to you, it can really punish you hard if you're not expecting it. But it's still really cool. My favorite part about Blast Blight is making weapons out of it, because blast weapons are crazy useful in a lot of circumstances. But Brachydios, I remember him because you can see the reason he has Blast Blight is because of that slime on his body. That slime is explosive, that's where that's coming from. So in Monster Hunter 3, when they added him, he was the first monster with anything explosive like that. So when they made weapons out of it, it wasn't known as Blast Blight, it was just known as Slime Blight, which is effectively almost the exact same thing, functionally. It just looked a little bit different and was called a little bit different. And And then as they progressed through the franchise, they renamed it to Blast, so it was a lot more obvious what it actually fucking did. I remember the Slime Blight days. After I beat him for the first time, I made a full Brachydios high rank armor set. I made his greatsword and hammer, and I think for the rest of that profile before I stopped playing, I used that armor set and that weapon. At least up until I got to G rank, and I started getting a little bit into G rank and realized that I wasn't good enough to progress any further. That was when I stopped. So the last like real set of armor I had, and the last real weapon I used, was the Brachydios stuff. I used it for a crazy long time. But enough about that, enough about reminiscing and explaining who this guy is. What about the fight? What's going on in this fight? Well, so far, despite me being distracted with explaining things, this fight's going super well, somehow. I just got blast blighted because I stepped in the puddle. Oh. He's a super cool monster because he doesn't attack animalistically like you'd expect a monster to do. He attacks very humanoid in the sense that he's just straight up like just punching. It's a joke in the community to kind of dog on the way he fights because it's very unique and very strange. He's just full on like boxing and beating us down. Super cool. Brachydios is a really cool monster. But again, ever since I beat him in 3, I've been like in love with this guy. Big Brachydios fan. So I fought him a lot in 3. I fought him a lot in this game. When I found out he was in this game, I was really excited and happy to fight him again. So I do know his moveset fairly well. Not as good as Glavenus, of course, but that goes for everybody in this game. So that's not really a big thing to say. Yeah, we're actually okay, dude. We're handling this fight pretty damn well, considering I haven't been 100% focused on him since I've been explaining things. I hope it's not annoying to hear me talk about this kind of shit, and I hope it's not repetitive. I just like explaining like my past with these monsters, explaining who they are, my experiences with them, and what we're getting ourselves into. I enjoy doing it, and Brachydios is one of those monsters because he's an old war buddy from 3. Not war buddy in the sense that he was on my side, though. Me and Brachydios are like those 2 pilots from World War II. That one German dude and the one Allied Forces guy. You know who I'm talking about. It was the Allied dude that was driving or piloting the B-17, and the German let him live, and they became best friends after the war. That's how me and Brachydios are. Except I didn't let him live. I didn't do that. I still killed him. But we're also still good buddies. It's just how it goes. That was a stupid story. But it's equal. I am like a World War II. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna start just fucking. Overall, pretty good. I know I talked that entire fight. I hope it was still fun to watch. The worst you could do is just mute the video. Or maybe you enjoy hearing me talk about my past experiences with these guys. I hope you do, because I'm not gonna stop. Pretty cool. I'm surprised we handled him as well as we did, despite the fact that I was distracted the whole fight. That's really surprising. I enjoy it though. I'm glad we did. I'm glad I did, rather. I did that, not you. Quest complete. We will be fighting him again in the future, for sure. Hopefully with me talking a little bit less so that you can focus more on the actual fight. Alright, did we unlock an urgent, or there's still more to go? Even if we did, I'm not doing the urgent yet, because there's still one more guy we gotta fight. Still one more. Yep, no urgent. My man. Save the best for last, I always say. I will not be fighting him in this episode, but next episode, we will be starting it off with this guy. I fucking absolutely love this monster. I can't overstate that enough. I hope you're excited because, man, I sure am. I'm absolutely excited. Let's go ahead and let's just take a look at some armor so you can see how they look. There's the Tygex helmet. Nothing special in my opinion. I'm actually not a big fan of that. The Brachydios helm, however, holds a special place in my heart because, again, I used the entire high rank Brachydios set in 3 for an incredibly long time, like months, I believe. And the low rank and the high rank armor sets look identical, so the helmet I wore in that game just looked like a slightly worse version of this because the game is older. But this is the same helmet. So looking at that, it brings back some big memories. Tigrex chestplate I actually do like. I do like that. Brachydios mail, of course I'm going to say I love that. I've seen the back of this a lot. The Tigrex arms, I like that as well. I think that's super cool. I like the spikes. The Brachydios braces. If I were talking legitimately, I would say that I don't actually like that. But I mean, it's Brachydios. Of course I like that. Of course I like that. Not a big fan of the Tigrex waist. Also not a big fan of the Brachydios waist. But again, I mean, it's Brachydios, man. Of course. Tigrex leggings I really like. And the Brachydios leggings I also really like. So there we go. We're not going to be making any of those, but I just wanted to show them to you so that you can see some of the variety and the appearances to these things. And you can take a look at their defenses as well. Nothing special. These also all have skills to them that if you were to match up your armor, you can get various different skill effects. The reason I haven't talked about that or pointed any of that out yet is because in low rank and high rank, I don't care about skills. I only start caring at the end of the game where I have just about everything unlocked and I have some freedom to really get some good and useful skills together. So at this point in the game, I don't give a fuck about skills. I don't even look. I don't care. I just look at defense. But if we did care about skills, we'd actually see that because we're wearing the whole Glavenus set, we do have some active, which I'll point out now. I don't know where we'd see it. Is this it? Oh, it is. So some skills we get are water resistance -20, because Glavenus is weak to water as a monster, so his armor is also weak to water. Since we're using the whole Glavenus set, if we fight a monster that has a water attack and that hits us, we will get our ass absolutely handed to by it. So we gotta be really careful when we're fighting a water monster. But our other skill from the Glavenus set is Heavy Polish. Its description is use a whetstone to polish a weapon and briefly increase its strength. I think what this means, I could be wrong, but I think what this means is that when you sharpen your weapon, there will be a period of time after the sharpen where your sharpness actually won't go down at all, even if you land hits. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. You'll notice ever since we started wearing the Glavenus set, whenever we'd sharpen, our sharpness gauge in the top left will have like a white outline around it. That is the Heavy Polish skill kicking in, indicating that it's active and that our sharpness is protected so that it won't go down as long as that shield is there. I'm pretty sure that's what Heavy Polish does. If you want to fact check me on that, you can look it up and you can actually see the real description of what it does. But that is, I'm pretty sure, correct. But anyway, with that little intermission out of the way, we fought everybody I wanted to fight in this episode. I was hoping we could fight Zinogre in this episode, but I don't want it to go on for too long. I've already been here for an hour and almost 20 minutes, and I don't know how this will edit, so I don't want to push it by adding in another guy. We'll just leave it at this. And we will save Zinogre for next episode, which is great, because I phenomenally love Zinogre, and I would really like to spend some time fighting him to point him out and talk about him. So, we'll save him for next episode. And with that, I will leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I really appreciate you checking out these videos like always. I hope you enjoy them so far as much as I have. It's been a blast playing through this so far. We're almost up to episode 20. That's pretty damn cool. I would look forward to being a lot further in the game where I can go back and start watching through my series from episode 1 and seeing how far I've come. I'm really looking forward to that. And I hope for you guys who've been here since the start and you guys who are coming in later, midway through the series or maybe after it's done, I hope you're enjoying it as well, because I know I'm enjoying playing it. Anyway, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate you doing so. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take it easy.